Hey guys, welcome back to Chronicles. Happy to be here again for the next episode. Well, so this time I want to talk about when the fire is gone. What do I mean? You have started doing the thing that you are supposed to do or that you feel led to do, and then in between the fire goes out. You have dreams, you have established to do them, you have set out the goals, you have set out the steps, and then somewhere the fire goes out, right? This is where discipline is supposed to kick in. So that's the point I want to talk about today. Now, there's one thing I've noticed, about things that eventually come to matter, or rather results that come to matter. One thing I've noticed is that consistent effort is what brings eventual results. Compounding effort is what brings eventual results. What do I mean? Say your goal is to be fit, right? And then you one day wake up and do 21 kilometers, right? I'm speaking like that because of the Sanchat marathon that just happened. Though, what I mean is you wake up and decide to do 21 kilometers, for example. Then you skip 2 weeks and then you do another 10 kilometers. So you do efforts here and there. Those they may assist you to get to where you need to be. However, compounding effort is what eventually brings great results, right? Habits. And as an adult, creating habits is really hard. So that's where I come in. Now, something has started working for me, or rather, I have found a way to create results that I thought I should share. So, like I was saying, your goal is to be fit. You can't haphazardly be doing things that you're supposed to do. Number two, say you're a playwright, you can't write one great play, or rather a play that you put your all, and then you go building other people's things, and then after some time then do another one. It eventually doesn't make sense. You have to build on pile on. When you're building a house, let me just give an example. When you're building a house, it's those small efforts that matter, that eventually bring out the whole house. And remember, here we're trying to walk into destiny, into what we are supposed to do, what God has put in our hearts to do, right? So the first time you do something, first of all, you have to remember, the first time you attempt to do something, you're probably going to be your worst or really bad at it. You can't give up at that point. So this is where I come in, my learning, how I have managed to do it myself. So let's begin with something called vision writing. And just before you log off, at the point where I say vision writing, I want to capture your attention by saying that I'm being a really bright person. It is very hard for my attention to be captured. To make me sit still for a long time is very hard. And then compounded by the fact that we have screens around us, things that take our attention. It takes a really focused mindset to make myself sit still, or to make my thoughts flow towards one direction and build towards something. So I'm speaking as someone who um, is already very hard. It's hard for me to build disciplined efforts. Speaking as such a person, then I then came to find out an idea that works, that I thought I should share. So first of all, for efforts to make sense, you have to point them. The way you point rays, the way maybe when you use a glass, I forget the type of glass, but there are these types of lenses that when light focuses on, then they're able to bring all the rays and focus on the same place, right? So you are all the things you think, you have to focus them for them to make sense. So I'll begin by maybe pointing to a Bible verse before I start. There's a Bible verse that says, Proverbs 29:18, the first part. It says, where there's no vision, people perish, right? So it's also biblical, what I'm about to tell you, which is vision writing. So how did I do it? First of all, like I said, introducing new behaviors for any adults is really hard, and for myself, it's extremely hard. Mastering myself where previously I wasn't able to. It's a bit difficult, and I think a lot of humans are there. So, first of all, what did I do? I started with introspection. One thing. For me, it started accidentally because one day I just got tired of the way my life is going, just tired of seeing things haphazardly, and I decided, let me just write down what I think Carol would be, an ideal Carol, like Carol who I see to be just amazing in the world, or what I think accomplishment for me would be. So how did I do it? I broke down my life into 5 things, right? 5 areas of life, and then I wrote down what an ideal Carol would be in those 5 things. How? First, I began by spirituality. Spirituality for me is very key. I wrote down what an ideal Carol spiritually would be. Then I wrote family-wise, what do I think the best Carol would look like in terms of my family. And then I went to personal goals, which are finances, health, personal growth. Wrote statements about how I think Carol would be like. Then I wrote career goals, and then I wrote social goals. I call them goals, but then I was just writing things that I thought I would love to see myself be. For instance, for me, like I said, spiritual life is very important for me. So what did I write? I wrote something like reading the Bible every day, Carol. So it was just that simple. Reading the Bible every day, Carol. Or for you, it may be praying every day, your name. That way, right? Financially, I just wrote things that I thought, how I thought I would be happiest, how I'd look like if I was happiest. So I wrote them down. And then this took me 15 minutes. First of all, discipline, introspection. I'm not the best person to do this. But then, as at that point, I was just doing it just because, again, I happened upon it accidentally before I was able to give it a name or what it is exactly. Then after that, I wrote it down. And then finally, I went and rewrote it a bit clearly. Of course, I had a couple of thoughts. I broke them down to 10 points because, again, I don't want to take up 20 things. I don't want to think about 50 things that I want to do. I just made it a short list, 10 things only, put them down. After that, at the top of the page, I wrote, this is me, I can see it clearly. I even put a star at the end. This is me, I can see it clearly. After that, I did the next step, which is I would read it out loudly. I'd read it out in the morning and in the evening. And I'd read it out so slowly that I could actually see those things. Now I can put a name to what I was doing. Then I didn't know what I was doing. So I did it out slowly. I did it out slowly to the extent that I could actually see those things. So in the morning before I would do what I'm supposed to do, go take a shower, I'd read it out. Before I sleep, I'd read it out slowly until I was able to put, let's say, assign pictures to it. But then I didn't know that I was assigning pictures, like I said. So what did I notice? In a couple of days, I started picking up behaviors that I would normally not do. My behavior started taking the shape of what I was reading. That's how I got encouraged to continue doing what I'm doing. And even further down, go and research exactly what it is that I was doing. What did I notice? What I was doing was called vision writing. What I was reading out was committing it to memory. And now I endeavor that it becomes second nature to me. But I'm noticing that the one indisciplined Carol is becoming disciplined, right? The one Carol the once upon a time Carol who couldn't do things in a systematic way, in a way that once I planned I couldn't follow through, is now starting to follow through. And I realized that if you aim at nothing, then you hit it all the time. I'm speaking as someone whose mind goes very fast. I think so many thoughts. I don't know if everyone is like this, but for me, I think so many thoughts at the same time. My thoughts are everywhere, my actions are everywhere. So I wasn't exactly focused. One day I decide I'm doing this, and I know this is common because at the beginning of the year we hear people setting goals. Focused, I want to lose weight, I want to be active. 1 week into the year, the goals are thrown away. That's how I know this is common. So if you want to be focused, a little bit more disciplined, I challenge you to take this action. And I have tried to make it as simple as possible. Just sit down, take some 15 to 20 minutes introspection. Think about the ideal you that you think the best you that can work on this as at now, because that picture will keep changing as you grow. But as at now, who do you think is the best you? Break it down into only 10 statements, and then make them present tense. Own them, make them you, so that when you read them, they make sense to you and you can form pictures on them. Don't say wealthy Carol, for instance, because if you say wealthy, it's too open. Make it so personalized that when you think about it, you would rather even say Lamborghini Carol. That way you can make a picture of it, or a car that maybe speaks to you or that you love. So make it very accurate, make it very specific, right? That way it is easier for you to work towards it. It's easier for you to plan. It's easier for you, right, to imagine, to form pictures on it. And then once you have done the introspection, write it down, and write it down clearly into your 10 statements. Then all you have to do after this is read them in the morning and in the evening. In the morning, in the evening. That's your only job. Because one thing I noticed is that we behave in a manner consistent to what we see ourselves. When you see yourself as a certain thing, then yourself starts behaving in that way. If that's why words are important, but that's for another day. But now this picture that you're committing to yourself, having said na Carol, or whoever, your behavior, then your name. So your mind starts saying, oh, that's actually me. Then you start walking in that direction, slowly by slowly. Like I said, compounded effort is what eventually brings results. So you have to do it in the morning, do it in the night. It's as simple as that. Don't do the most. Don't overburden yourself. Don't overwhelm yourself. If you do that, then you start repelling, you start rejecting that idea, because your mind takes it like a lie. So you have to just be easy on yourself. Just decide, write, and then read them. That's all. And then let me know how it goes. I know it will work out, because like I said, I'm like the best case example for indiscipline, and it has worked for me. So go ahead, try it out, tell me how it goes. Have a lovely day. If you resonate with this video, please proceed to like, please proceed to share, please proceed to subscribe to this channel. and have a lovely time. Thank you. Bye.